Okay.
Come in here, girl.
Thank you, everybody, for being here. Another week of Earth Tones. We are so excited for today's episode. Woo! We are here with our girly girls. We're doing a little girl chat, a little spill the tea. We have asked for followers to send in many questions in relation to dating, love life, sex, attraction, heartbreak, marriage, in honor of Valentine's Day. And we are going to, so we've got all the questions right here if you're watching on YouTube. And we are going to play a little game. I'm going to ask a question to these girls, and then it's going to jump, and then Jayme's going to ask a question to Allie and I, and then it'll jump, and Allie will ask a question to me and Jayme. So quickly, let's do a little introduction. Let's just say our names so that people can get used to like our voices who are listening, and then let's just revisit how we met.
Oh boy. So take it up my starting.
Oh boy.
Well, there's too much dirt to spill here.
Correct.
So I'm sorry. I'm Jayme Stewart. I have known Ella for, and Allie, how many years now? Are we 7?
5. I think we're 5. 7.
I think it's 7. Still a lot longer than it should be.
Oh my gosh.
Really good friends. We started working together and we just instantly had a connection, and I will let Allie talk more, but best of friends. We've been through ups and downs with so many different things in our lives, and I'm excited to be a guest here today. Very proud of Ella for what she's doing with her child. So thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Allie Westfall, and Sam. We all just worked at the same company together. I think we all didn't like each other at the beginning.
I definitely didn't like either of you guys.
Oh, and I was the mother hen trying to teach these girls how to behave.
Ella would go into Jamie's office, and then I'd look, and Ella would leave, and I'd go into Jamie's office.
They came in for advice. It started out, but then it was just scolding. So
yeah,
and now we're
and
best
then
friends.
I went into HR, and I almost had to fire you because you were talking so much about sex, and they asked me to go do it, and I was like, between me and you, this is gonna break up our friendship, so we just need to
dial
bring it down a lot.
So that's a perfect segue.
Yeah.
Right there, I'll just say I am a certified sexologist. So I decided to, instead of being fired, to go get a coaching degree in what I love to talk about.
Talk about sex all day.
Exactly. So please stick around for the end of the episode because we are announcing something very exciting for anyone that's listening locally. There is a very exciting event coming up in the next 2 weeks. So please stick around till the end to hear more about that. Okay, so let's do some icebreakers really fast. Current relationship status. I'll go first. I'm single AF. Go.
Married, complicated.
I've been in a committed relationship for about 1.5 years now, but we've known each other for longer. So
beautiful.
It's
Awesome.
And you've got kids involved in that.
I do, yeah. My boyfriend has 2 kids, so that's where I'm at.
Okay. Favorite feature about your man, or for me, my dream man? Jayme, start.
Oh, favorite feature. This is another good segue. What are we allowed to call the man's unit? Is that what we're talking about?
Unit.
Oh,
A G
my
unit.
favorite part about my man.
Yeah, wait, actually, can we all have that answer, though? Okay.
No, I took it first.
Okay, Al?
I've only dated men who are 6 foot and up. I'm 5'2", so I love the height, and my man is 6'2", so that's what I love.
And Ella, what are you looking for?
I know, my favorite feature, I have a long list. I would say I love symmetry on a face, like cheekbones or eyes or teeth or nose. That's just perfect symmetry. Like a pretty face, a pretty boy face typically is my weakness. I could go off on the hair weaknesses. I love lots of different hairstyles. Height is definitely one. Yeah. Definitely one. But it's not a deal breaker, but it's definitely
We're not picky at all.
yeah.
For our listeners out there.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Okay, I'll just cut my list of this.
Just one.
Okay, and do you believe in love?
Yes, of course.
Yes. But does it come naturally? Not necessarily.
Okay. And yes, I am still waiting for my love. Okay, so I'm going to just give this to you.
Okay. So these are questions that came in from listeners.
From
right? From followers. Okay. Now, if I read it, you two need to answer.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. And just so you know, these have not been looked at. This is nothing that where you have strategized.
Correct.
So whatever they say, it comes first. And you may apologize later, but just be quick. All right. Whatever comes to your mind. If you could plan your first ideal date, what would it include? This is great for Valentine's Day. Listen up good. Ellie, go.
I hate dates that like, especially first dates, and I don't know the person. I hate it when you just have to like sit there and like look at them and talk to them.
Ugh.
Like I want to be doing something. I'm kind of like an adrenaline junkie, so if it's like something fun, adrenaline, rock climbing, skydiving, that's fun.
So girls,
That's so
activity
fun.
is what we're listening to.
Activities. We need
You know what?
activities.
You know what? I'll piggyback off of that. I love an experience. Like,
Yes.
I don't want to go to the movies. I'd rather go to comedy. I don't want to sit there and talk about our degrees and our blah, 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 blah. I'd rather us, like, be in an environment where it's where we're both the student and we're both learning something together, where you're not above me teaching me something, I'm not above you teaching me something. So, like, I don't even know that I have a classroom work.
Yeah. Dinner and food can be included, but I need something
You
else.
can't
like,
feed me.
Yeah.
No,
That's
I
fine.
know Ella. You better feed her.
Yeah.
Anybody that's going to
Second,
be taking her out,
third.
please. Yep. Choose your
Speaking of
your
which,
food choices.
Thank you for your lunch.
How do you know if you're being patient versus being played?
I'm just so glad that landed in my lap.
I'll let go.
Okay, patient versus being played. I would say go off of their actions, not their words. That's going to be your teller if you're getting played or not. And that's speaking from firsthand experience.
Yeah, I would say that it really depends on the conversations, and I think the activities that you've done and the dates that you've gone with them, I think you can pretty easily know. What I've found is that if you're on a date with someone and they're distracted, or they're constantly looking at their phone, or they're looking elsewhere throughout the restaurant, like especially like say you go on a hot date, you're at a club, you're in a good environment, if they're checking out others, you know you're being played. You know you're being played. Watch for those signs.
And let's just add on there, if your phone is like if their phone is on do not disturb or airplane mode, like what are you hiding?
Yes.
Like you should have it if you're looking to be with someone long term. And you're trying to be available to long-term relationships, and there should be no sketchy business going on the side. You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Love it. Toss it. Ella. Great questions,
Well,
by the
I'll be
way,
in the
listeners. Thank you.
Okay, have you ever been in a situationship? What was that like, and how did you get out?
I'll start. I mean, I feel like Kyra and I were a situationship before we were actually dating. So we were kind of like a thing for a long time, for like a year or 2 years, and nothing ever happened. So I guess that's how I got out of it, is I actually like committed and started dating him.
And that's pretty rare, because typically I would say situationships, it's really hard to move it into a commitment because you're in a situationship for a reason.
Right. I was divorced, so that was like a huge part of why I didn't like commit. But I think that being in that situationship, the reason why, I mean, we could have gone in two directions. We either would have just broken up, moved on with our lives, or been together, ended up together. But I think the biggest thing is, like, he kept choosing me and making me a priority. Like, I remember I would call him and be like, what are you doing? And he was super frustrated that I wasn't committing. But if I would call him and he'd be like at a movie, he'd be like, I'm leaving the movie. I'm coming to you right now.
Hot.
And
Love it.
Yes. So
Love
hot. So that's how we moved out of the situationship to being in a relationship, because I felt very prioritized and loved and safe.
Awesome. Okay. I'm going to state my age. I'm 48. So a situationship is a new word that you are using. So I'm going to bring this up for listeners who might be a little bit older. I take from that, I'm taking from that word, the definition I'm assuming is that it's a situation where you both know you're not the right person for each other necessarily, or where you're at in the stage of that relationship. Am I correct?
Yeah.
So
But you don't want to fully let go.
So I have definitely been in that situation before with a gentleman who we knew he was in the military. He was going to be called to go off and leave the state. But the bedroom, sorry for my husband now, I'm going to apologize, he's listening, but he's very, very confident. He's a confident man and very supportive of this conversation. So I love that, he knows with this certain gentleman that, the sex was great. We had a good time together. And so at the end of the day, until he had to leave, and I wasn't looking for anything else at the time, that we used each other for that. And it was a fabulous situationship. So I think we find a lot of people right now in relationships where they're not quite sure how it works together, but if you're both on the same page, it can be beautiful. So.
Interesting, because I was hoping you guys would both give really negative commentary so I could be like, yay, we don't support situationships. But it was more positive. I have a different feeling, but let's move on.
Bring that card back. Ella, we want to know what you want to say.
Well, mine was a little bit more fresh, and I really had genuine feelings and a genuine desire to build something, and I didn't want to be put in that situationship. I wanted to be in a relationship. Mm-hmm. So it was really hard for me, kind of like the card before, I don't necessarily feel like I was being played, but I feel like my patience did run out. And the card was asking, when do you know when it's time to dip? For me, I said, I'll give it a year. And if at a year you still don't know, and that was me being patient and generous. Yeah. And after that year, I was crushed. I was like, how do you still not know? But we can't control what other people have going on in their lives. We can only either consent to being patient with that or saying, this isn't serving me. And so I feel like giving it a year was really generous. And after that, it was okay, I need to prioritize myself, because if you're not prioritizing me, I can't give anything else.
Well, like I was saying, you either get into a relationship or you end it. And so, I feel like people sometimes don't communicate very clearly what they're looking for and what they want because they just want to drag you around because they're comfortable. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, I feel like as human beings, we owe each other that respect of no, I want this to work out, or I want this to go somewhere, or that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It's a shame that we are not honest with each other.
Well, and sex coach Jayme, girls get a drink. I made beautiful little Valentine's drinks. I'm going to have them pop right now. Yes, thank you. So sex coach hat on. This is something that we will touch on later, but it is all about communication. So what Ella felt is that at the end of the day, with where she was at, there was not the same communication that should have been from both sides to let them know where they were, what they wanted, and then
I don't
together in the middle.
I'm not into the fantasy world anymore. I don't want to live the fantasy what we could be. No.
Yeah.
I'm in pick me or move. Mm-hmm. That's the era I'm in at this point.
Yeah. And to the other person in the relationship, right? They should hear that, take that for what it's worth, and really respect it, and come back and say, "I'm sorry.
Yeah,
can't give that to you.
You're gonna fall in love with me, so
and you will fall in love with her, all you listeners. But you better step up." Okay. All right. My next question: is a guy having kids a deal breaker? What's it like being a step?
Okay.
She's got this one.
I think that was a huge thing I had to think about because Kyra has 2 kids. One of them is 12. One of them is 7. But Kyra and I met 5 years ago, so they were a lot younger. But when I was deciding whether I wanted to move forward with our relationship or just kind of do my own thing, that was a huge thing for me. Luckily, his kids are great and they are so fun and there's no issues there. But I feel like taking on kids is a lot of responsibility. Kyra always tells me, they're not your responsibility. You don't have to worry about them. But I do just feel this sense of, no, they're not mine, but, they feel like my family. I'm curious about, if a man came in your life.
Yeah.
How you would want them to respond to, your kids. And because, I still am figuring out how to be there for Kyra's kids and, how involved I should be. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious, what you would want. A man to show up.
Yeah, I feel like my perspective is different because I obviously have 2 little boys, and so for me, this question really is kind of like a mirror because it's I want someone who's going to be okay with me having kids, and not even just okay, but embraces it, because this is something about my life. This is whoever you're seeing me as, this woman that I am, is literally because of these children that really allowed me to step into my role as a woman and provide for all of us and take on this whole beautiful role of being a single mom. So if you like what you're seeing, it's because of them. And so I wouldn't want someone to discredit who these little boys are in my world. So in that same respect, I can't say to somebody, hey, take me for what I have and my kids, I'm not doing that with you and your kids. And in the same way, if he had kids and I have kids, I also feel like I would want to have kids together because it's like, you know, if you take on my kids, then whatever you want, I'm going to bring that tenfold for you because you're already taking on a very big responsibility. So, yeah, I mean, if a guy has kids, great. I don't know, like, it's maybe a little bit innocent. Like, I've dated men that have had kids, but not to the point where we've ever, like, integrated families, and thank God, because that's a big deal to integrate and then break up. So I'm so glad that that's never happened.
But I'm going to chime in on this
Yeah.
one, even though it's not, because I have been in this situation. So my husband and I, we have had a hard time. I've got 2 young kids, 12 and 16. His are older, and so we have really struggled in that area. And the only thing I can say, even to those that are dating, when you get to a point where the kids being integrated and you go through some of that things, there's going to be different parenting styles, right? Mm-hmm. Whether you are married, whether you're dating, whether you're living together. So the only call out that I want to make in this conversation right now is seek help. Mm-hmm. You know, that's the best thing that my husband and I did is we got a therapist involved because we could not agree on the way that the parents should be or the kids should be parented. So that's just
There's
one thing
no
I want to
shame.
chime in. Yeah,
There's
no shame in just saying we parent different ways.
Yeah,
his way is not right or wrong. Mine isn't wrong. You know,
Yeah.
but the way that we did it together was not working. And so,
yeah.
anyways, but it is definitely hard. But I love that you both are open to it. But I think it is about receiving, you know, and understanding, again, when you come into a relationship, what is involved, and make that decision early on that's fair to both at the beginning. Can I do this? If not, be true to yourself. No shame in that.
Honest
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and I do have more conversations this month coming with other blended families. So
stay
that's
tuned.
kind of
Sure.
Oh, sure.
Me. Ooh, can you love someone and still know that they aren't right for you?
Say it one more time.
Can you love someone and still know that they are not right for you?
1 trillion, billion, zillion %. You can love someone and know that they are not right for you.
Elaborate.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to step on anybody's toes here, but I feel like it does come down to your own self-respect and how much you do love yourself, because I think at the end of the day, it's what you tolerate on how you're loved. And I think everyone has a different spectrum of what is okay for them. And we all have our own past experiences that create that box of what's okay and what's not okay, what's allowed and what's not allowed. But yeah, I think in short, you can absolutely be in love with people and just know you can love them and not try to make it work. And I think it just depends on how much you really want to go through that cycle and to see it through of, you know, we did everything, or like maybe it's just not someone that you need to get that deep with because you know it so early on, you know.
Yeah. I will say I'm a lover. I will love everybody and I will love you hard, and I believe in this. Can you love someone and know they're not right for you? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the biggest lessons I've learned in being in relationships like this is that, 1, be careful what you share with your friends and your family, because if they care about you, they're going to get hurt. And so, you know, that's one of the biggest things I'm going to overshare. I share every little story, every little fight in relationships. And that really weighs down and creates negative energy for those that are trying to support you. And so I think the question is when you love someone and you know that they're still not right for you, A, again, seek help. B, if you stay in it, then don't come in as the victim towards those that are loving you. Own it. Say, yes, I know this isn't right. May I share this with you? Maybe don't ask for advice. But at the end of the day, if you're going to stay in it, A, make sure it's healthy. Make sure you're not staying in something that's abusive, please. But at the end of the day, if you choose to love someone and keep trying to work at it, then good for you.
I was just going to add on, make sure that if there is any type of abuse or any type of a questioning of abuse or neglect or safety, please do not take that advice. Like that's a different, that's
to somebody.
And I've been there myself. So like that was advice I got when I was married, and that was a very bad thing to say to me, not knowing what I was about to walk into. So
I remember with my ex-husband, just like there was one day I came home and I just was really, really frustrated with him, and I remember looking at him and just remember being so divided, being like, I love this person so much, but I'm so frustrated and so sad and heartbroken. And that was really, really hard, but that's when I kind of really started thinking about separation. We were really good at being friends. We were really good at being best friends and being fun together. We were not good at loving each other and like being in a relationship. And a lot of that is because we were so young.
Yeah.
But I just am imagining if we would have stayed together, if those patterns would have continued and we wouldn't have been able to learn and develop our love for each other. But being in the relationship that I am now, we are better at being partners and being in a relationship, and friends kind of comes second. He is like my best friend right now, but I'm just grateful for someone who just loves me and shows me he loves me, and we get that first. So
I love that. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Okay, how long should you wait? I'm so glad I didn't get this question. How long should you wait till you get some?
Okay, this is so funny because
5 minutes.
I am like, yeah.
Don't ask me. I'm a certified sex coach for a
She's
reason.
a certified coach. Yeah, and I am like, I was the biggest virgin when I was 19, 20.
Yeah.
So like,
Same.
yeah.
Come to me if you want to learn my ways.
Jamie's like, let's just sit together and be fun. Like,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Jamie's like, end of the day.
What's
done.
your name?
Yeah. I'm like, I'm so
Just be
reserved.
safe.
I'm like, show me that you like me and care about me, and then I'll give you some. Like, I'm not like a, here you go.
But let's go back to situationships. My biggest thing is you don't get into the physical piece until you've already defined the relationship. That's how you end up in situationships, is when you start doing other things before the commitment piece
Yep.
is
Just
defined.
know what you're
Again,
getting into.
Communication.
So both of your answers are nothing?
I don't think there's a right answer
What do
for
you mean,
that. I
nothing?
think it's
5
just.
minutes.
Did you not?
No, okay.
She's discounting me.
No. It's
That was
personal.
your answer. Okay.
It's for sure personal. Just know what you're getting yourself into so that you do not get hurt.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do what you want.
How long is too long to wait for someone to commit? I'm glad I didn't get this question.
I'm feeling this question, and I'm sure Allie is too. How long is too long to wait for someone to commit?
Do you want to start or do you want me to start?
My heart hurts right
Okay,
now.
I'll start. You can go off of what I say.
Okay.
So again, this is so personal, but my boyfriend waited 2 years for me to like commit.
But not to.
So did everybody hear that correct? It's for the woman to commit.
It
Which
was
is
me.
what I love about this relationship, is that this is not as typical
Yeah.
as you would expect.
Yep. So he
Yeah.
waited and waited,
Yeah.
and there was frustrations, and I just wasn't ready.
And again, I'm going to chime in right now. Can we say kudos
Mhm.
to her for having the courage?
To pause on a great guy.
How many of us can actually say that?
Yeah.
That in a relationship, that we waited until we knew what we wanted.
Yeah.
And knew we were going to get it.
Yeah. There were
Yeah.
so many times I was like, he should just be done with me. He should be done with me. And honestly, I think I was trying to self-sabotage it for a while.
Sure.
And when I realized,
That
like,
sounds
he's
familiar.
gonna keep coming back to me. Like
He's
I was
not
like,
going anywhere.
I got to a point where I was like, okay, he loves me, and like I knew it, and yeah. So I think it's super personal.
Yeah.
Super, super personal. What do you think?
I don't think I have an answer. I think if you're waiting for commitment in the first place, that's the first problem. I think you need to. I think something that is my fault, but also my strength, is that like I am straight up. I can even be intense. I can be spicy, but it's like from the jump. I'm a single mom. I am looking for marriage. Period.
Yeah.
There's nothing after that. Like that's what I want. It's a crazy world that we live in, but I choose to. I don't know. Like I want to finally have a happy marriage. I never had that. I never had that opportunity. I never had a happy pregnancy. I never had a happy home. I never had happy babies, just like smiling and a peaceful home. I never had any of that. So it's like, in a sense, I felt like my life's kind of been on pause. And obviously it's not, because I lived my life to the fullest. But in the same sense, the things that I've truly always wanted and dreamed of from a little girl, I've never gotten thus far. And so if I'm having to wait around for you to commit, I think I've learned that in my dating experience. Like, if you're waiting, it's probably for a reason. Like, take that as your answer.
Well, again, like communication is huge. I remember Kyra and I would always be like, "Where are you at? Where are you at? Where are you at?" And when he was like, "I can't do this anymore. Like, I'm done waiting for you,"
Mhm.
that's when I was like, it put pressure on me, but it was kind of a good pressure where I was like, I really have to think about, if this is something I can do and see long term. And eventually I was like, yes, like this is what I want. This is what I want long term.
Mm-hmm.
And so a little bit of pressure I think is good.
Yeah.
And just communicating where you guys are at so that you just know. You just know.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not like I want marriage and, like, I will bulldoze everybody until I get there. It's like I can be patient, but as long as we're working towards the same goal eventually.
Same goal.
We need the same goal, yeah.
Yeah.
How do you know when it's time to walk away versus stay and work it out?
That's a good question, Jayme. Oh, it's a very good question. Okay, yes. I think as females, you know, I was doing some studying the other day, and it said that 68% of women will stay in a relationship longer than we need to.
Yeah.
I would actually say higher than that based on the women I know, right? It's a higher percentage.
Mm-hmm.
By nature, we want things to work. You know, by nature, we're emotional. We try to give everybody, you know, the benefit of the doubt. We can't believe that they could actually not, you know, want to be a good person or be good to us in a relationship or so forth. And so I think by nature we fight this in having to leave a relationship, right?
Yeah.
I mean, there are obviously exceptions. There's some very strong women, and I wish I had a little bit more of them. And many times in my life where I could just say, yep, nope, I deserve better, and I'm leaving.
Mm-hmm.
I think, again, you know, amongst even our best friends here, you know, just in having those conversations, it's like, hey, we're supporting each other, knowing that there were times where we probably should have walked away from relationships that we didn't. So I really think it's the person having to find, again, we're taking abuse and, you know, major trauma out of the situation. We're talking about, you know, typical relationship strifes, right? But I think at some point, it's really up to the person that's in it to say they've had enough.
Mm-hmm.
And who can be the person to say that other than the person themselves?
Yeah, that's true. Just thinking about some of the bigger relationships that I've had, it's time to walk away when there's disrespect. And I say that because when there's disrespect, you are now at a danger to actually being hurt. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, financially, in all of the ways. When the respect for a human is gone, then a person can attack and hurt in the most demeaning of ways. And so as long as there's still a mutual respect between one another, I think you're still good to keep trying things. You know, you're getting bugged, you're getting bothered, you don't like their choices, you don't like the way they work through things, okay. But when there's actual disrespect, you are at imminent danger, and taking, like, from me, like, you need to leave. You need to just take that as your answer before you find out.
You know, I got to a point in my marriage where I was like, my thought process, I remember thinking, okay, like, if I had to deal with this my whole life, I guess I could deal with it, you know? And that's when I was like, ooh, red flag. Like,
why would I let myself?
Right. And I've seen these women stay in marriages way too long, and like their life just doesn't really change, and I can tell that they're not fulfilled and not receiving the love that they should have. And so I think for me, I just was like, I want more than this. I want more than just having to deal with it.
Right.
Why do so many women feel disconnected from their sexuality?
We're in Utah. We live in Utah.
Amen. By
That
the
was
way,
me.
we were all Mormons.
Yeah, no, that was me. 100%. Like, oh gosh. Like, I remember this is a lot, but I remember I couldn't even like go out of the shower and like be naked in my room and just get ready because I felt uncomfortable.
Same.
And I know that like my sister has that too. Like, there are so many women that deal with this. It's so bad. And so the time comes when you are, you know, having sex with your partner and it feels shameful, it feels gross, when it should be, you know, you tell us how it should feel, empowering, like, you know, it's just sad.
I'm going to save that, come to my workshops. However, the one thing I will say, even at the age of 42, I was building a home, and my husband and I at the time were living with my parents. And I remember walking from the bedroom we were staying in to the bathroom across the hallway, literally door to door, right? I mean, you don't even have maybe 3 feet, 4 feet between the door of the bedroom and the door of the bathroom. And my mom saw me walk out naked, and I got a whoops, and I was like a whoops, and I remember looking at her going, I'm 42. and you can't see my naked body and not like
And you
freak
birthed me.
out, right? And you birthed me,
Yeah.
and you've raised me, and I'm supposed to be afraid and ashamed of my naked body just walking into the bathroom, right? And it's something that from the time I had my own children, I just vowed that I was never going to instill upon them was that shame. And I think there's so many of us men and women out there raised in any conservative religion, and not even religion, conservative background, right, where we get that shame. So yes, that's more to come on that later. I could go off for hours.
Yeah.
So, how do you talk about what you want in bed without feeling awkward?
Okay, I have a fast answer. It's called a sandwich. You say, babe, I love when you blah blah blah.
Yes.
But I really need blah blah blah. And when we get that sorted, then I can't wait to feel blah blah blah. Done.
I like
Beautiful.
that.
I don't know. I think people like different things, and so I think it's really important to ask questions. Like,
Okay, fair.
do
Now
you
I
like
change my
this?
answer.
I don't know. That's how me and my partner communicate. I think the most is like, do you like it when I do this? Like, or like, I noticed you did this. Did you not like it, or did you like it? Or communication. Just it's key in everything. You need to communicate, and it can be fun. Honestly, go find. You made a little. What was it? Questionnaire.
Yes, no, maybe.
Yes, no, maybe.
Oh yes,
Yes.
yes, no, maybe.
Yes, no, maybe. And it was like a fun, like, it wasn't a date night, but we were just like,
Love
it was a way
that.
for us to connect while we were just like at home sitting doing nothing. And I just like asked him these questions, and he would say yes, no, maybe to them. And I was like, wait, you'd be into that? And I had no idea. Or, yeah, so it was so fun.
Yeah.
Can you
It
give us
can
just
be
an
fun.
example of a yes, a no, and a maybe for you and your partner?
For me? Oh boy, that's hard because
Yes
I
to
don't have
everything.
any no's.
Oh boy, here we go.
No. So when this yes, no, maybe list that I'm happy to share with all of you, to the listeners, I'll give it to Ella. She can give it to you. It's so much fun. As Allie mentioned, I give it to them. I do love to create it as a date night because it is something really fun. I would not, unless you have a really good, healthy relationship where the communication is already strong, I wouldn't suggest, and kudos to them, they could, doing it where you're asking each person. It's actually something you're supposed to kind of fill out on your own.
Because it could be
And come back
shameful.
together, yes, because they may not answer it right then and there, right again, because it's like, oh, that could be something like, oh, what, you're into anal and we've never tried this, and like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
right? So it could create some shame, and then they'd be like, oh, well, no, just, I don't know, and they could retract on what they said.
Yeah.
So anyways, I remember my husband that I'm with now, 30-year marriage that he had prior to, great marriage, right? I mean, he said their sex life, they had no issues, it was wonderful. But when I got with him, obviously in the coaching and the degree that I have and so forth, is, I've experimented a lot more, I've studied a lot more, I've made sure that I've, really explored things and know the safety of different exercises and so forth. And so when he got with me, you can imagine, mine was blown. Sorry, baby, but I'm just going to say mine is blown. It still is 4 years later. But the yes, no, maybe list, there were a lot of no's on his list. A lot, right? Because what he and his wife had, which was beautiful, but what it turned out to be was extremely, as some would say, vanilla, right?
Safe.
It was safe. They hadn't explored all sorts of different things. It was very limited as the exercises. So there were all sorts of things on there that were no's for him. So
Can a no be persuaded, or do you just respect the no?
no. So he will have the best story for you, something that I asked him to try with me, and it took 3 months for him to try. So I would never say I wanted to persuade him, but it is something as we explored other activities and got a little closer to maybe something that was a little more extreme.
I was gonna say,
It
it's
was
fun.
little by little.
It's
right?
fun that those questions can lead into conversations. Be like, so you wouldn't do
Yes.
this, but like, would you do this?
Mhm.
Or like, why is that? It's just fun
Yeah.
to like get deeper into it.
Yeah.
But within any relationship, you do have to respect boundaries. And so there are still things that he will not and has zero interest in doing, even though for me, I think they would be so exciting and I want to do with him and experience with him.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, that is where you have to respect that person. And what I love the most is that I believe with any good communication, say someone has a kink that you just don't agree with and you may think it's disgusting or you might want to try shaving them, Please don't do that. What I encourage people is find something else you can experiment together, something new that neither one of you have done that you're both willing to do. Because that can be just as exciting as something else and replacing that kink. So.
How does communication differ in a situationship versus a relationship?
Boring.
Yeah, we've done that one.
What's one thing you wish men understood about women?
Ooh.
Do you guys?
Oh.
What's the list?
Do you want me to start while you're
Yeah,
thinking?
go ahead.
Okay, so mine is really easy. So many men, if they have a sensitive woman, think we feel too much. We're just too sensitive. We shouldn't take things as so harsh, especially those that love sarcasm, right? It's like, no. And I really wish they'd understand that our sensitivity, our emotional nature is actually a blessing. It's a blessing.
Mm-hmm. I'll go from there. Yeah, women are amplifiers. So you bring her anger, she'll go crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You bring her unsurety, she will spiral into questions. You bring her food, she'll make you a meal, right? Like, you bring her consistency, she will lock in with you and be loyal to you forever. She is the amplifier of whatever it is. So when you're saying, this girl was crazy, okay, what did you do? What energy did you bring her first that made her have to, do those, quote, crazy things like looking through this, looking through that, investigating, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not condoning that behavior because that is toxic. But I definitely think that, two can tango in that sentence.
Yeah.
Can sex be bad even if the love is real?
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh yeah, I've said this over and over again. Like, sex is almost always bad when you first try it new with someone. Like, always. So it takes a long time to figure out each other and what you want and what you don't want and what you like and what you don't like. And yeah, it just takes time. So it can be so bad the first time. But communication, that is the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but what I love about this question, though, is how many people have you heard are in relationships where they love this person, but their sex life is almost non-existent, right? It is not there. And again, what is so sad about this is what she said is this is an opportunity. Be curious. How do you revive that? Because I can tell you right now, it's not just one person, it's both parties. And so if you truly love this person, that is something that you should try to work out and figure out. And so what a huge opportunity. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I think of that question in a different way where it's like, I'm thinking back to my marriage where, like, kind of what you said, like, we could be friends. I think so much hurt was happening in the background that sex was just on the back of the to-do list. It was just, why would I do that with you when everything else is falling apart and I'm being treated so terribly? And so my answer is more so just, yes, you can have bad sex and love someone, and that's also maybe a teller of that relationship. Because if they don't want to talk about it, if they do shut down, if they don't want to fix it, if they don't want to change, like, I'm sorry, like, I refuse to have a relationship where the sex isn't good. Like, that's what's the scariest thing for me is, like, getting into a monogamous relationship and then it just dies one day. Like, I refuse. That scares me.
Can I also add a really whole nother side to this that I just want to say for listeners out there that might be thinking the same thing too? There are times where, again, if you're trying to own what you want from a relationship, there are people that I have dated before where the sex wasn't good and it never got good. And even through the communication, it just was never good. And that is something that is the most difficult relationship to ever leave because you love them. And this is a dating relationship, mind you, for me, right? But there were some longer term dating relationships I was in, and that was really, really hard for me to not feel the shame and leaving a good person just because of that.
That's true.
But I am just giving a shout out to those that are in that situation. Please do not be hard on yourself because that is a very real situation. And again, being a certified sex coach, we're going to put that out there again, coach hat on. But that is such a big part of a relationship that is not a bad reason or choice as to step away from a relationship. So. All right, how do you feel sexy after burnout or breakups?
I think I'm the expert in this because how many times have I gone through a breakup? I'm gonna say did you put a number up?
No, I'm just holding my vibrator.
How else do we know? I'm gonna say finding a project, and that doesn't sound sexy, but when you get caught up in a project and you are stimulating your mind again, you get sucked out of the sadness of that breakup fog, and that really allows you to kind of get your mojo back in a way that's not you trying to be sexy. It's just you stimulate yourself again, you try and bring your intellectual self back into the world, figure out what it is that you have to offer the world. And when you start putting that out there, people are attracted to that. They're like, ooh, she's out there doing things, or ooh, he's got this amazing business plan, or whatever it is. But I just think that being sexy is such an outward thing first. It's not just your appearance. It's not just shaving your legs.
My husband was my first boyfriend. And so going through that breakup, I wasn't ready to date or be with a man or any of that. Like, I just wasn't ready for a long time. And so for me, I didn't know a lot about myself sexually. I think I was just redefining myself in a lot of ways. And so just like learning about myself, learning about my likes and my dislikes, and yeah, taking on some projects, I think that made me feel really empowered and sexy and good. Changing my hair in a way that like my husband was like, I don't want you to have your hair like this, and just doing that. I was like, oh, I feel good, you know.
Things that you want.
Yeah, so just exploring myself more and not trying to provide and be there for someone who wasn't giving back to me. That made me feel good.
You know what else I did when I was like recently divorced is like even if I was wearing sweats around the house, I would wear lingerie under my sweats.
You know what?
It carried me in a different way.
And like style, like my ex-husband was very Mormon, and so like he really wanted me to wear garments all the time, and so experimenting with my fashion and like what I like to wear, like what I like.
Yes.
Yeah, it was, and surround yourself. Like, I had these guys when I was going through my divorce, and they were just like, do what makes you happy, you know, so supportive of all of that.
Yeah.
And so surround yourself with good people.
Yeah. We're getting to the end.
Why do so many people avoid commitment, even when things are going so well? Oh.
It's weird, but it feels like you should answer that. You should answer that.
I think for me, a huge thing was fear. My biggest fear is like people leaving me, because I feel like my personal life, I just feel like I've had a lot of people leave. And so being like committing again and like really like breaking down my walls again was really, really scary. And like I said, it took me 2 years. And so I think that fear of just being like, well, what if I really commit and really love this person and then they just leave again, you know, they're just gone. So that was actually a huge thing. Like, I didn't know if I really believed in love, and I didn't know if like
I remember that
if it was worth it.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was worth it.
What is your biggest dating red flag?
Am I allowed to say this one?
Red flag. Right here.
We're trying to, again, when we were thinking of how we could do this without being X-rated and being kicked off, yeah, it's,
If he has a little
unit. So let's just talk about it. If I can't see a
That's
bulge,
not a red
I can't
flag.
see a bulge in
They
the head.
can't help
Okay,
it.
I'm sorry. Okay, I've got to change my answer. I thought this was supposed to be whatever comes off the cuff.
I hate it when I'm on a date.
Oh my gosh.
What's the red flag?
I hate it when I'm on a date and they talk about themselves.
Ew.
Non-stop. They don't
You've had so many bad dates.
Oh
my god. You're so right. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
No, that is a big one for sure.
You literally, I remember. I don't remember too long ago. You were like, he just talked about himself the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is there anything else? No.
There's a lot, but
Yes.
there's a lot.
This is a common one for all of us that have dated and are dating, is the catfishing.
Mm.
I mean, come on.
Gosh, don't I have
Can
some
both
stories?
parties please show up like you look today? Do not come and sugarcoat it, because you are not getting a second date.
We're gonna find out.
Sorry.
We're gonna find out.
Okay, hold on.
All right.
My leg is cramping.
What do we need
Is
to
it
do?
cramping?
What do we need to do?
Oh, I'm sweating.
We'll show these bloopers. I'm sweating.
I am
Cat
too.
cows.
Okay, hold on. Let's take a look.
I love this. Will you shake that mouse? Because I'm like, it's going to go
Can
away.
you see
This? What am I doing? Okay.
I'm a little coochie. Okay. And we're on 39, so we do need to wrap it up sometime soon.
Okay. Oh God. Okay.
It's just all my weight was on this hip.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
This is me.
that's
I'm
why
trying
I'm
to
so-
moving. I'm trying to suck in my gut.
and we're gonna
Oh,
open
so
the
fabulous.
I don't think I'm showing any
Hold on,
teeth,
I
which
need to
is
get
kinda
my
sad,
teeth
but whatever.
situated.
Teeth and tea.
I'm not showing any. It's like, okay.
Okay.
Wait. Yeah, wait.
Okay.
What's that?
Okay, of course you want that one.
Oh! No, but
You
I
have
wanna
to answer
this one.
it. You can.
What's the best part of sex, girls?
I think this changes, like in the situation you're in. Like being in a committed relationship, I love the connection. Like I know this is not Jayme.
You're not
like
committed. It's kind of
I feel this is boring. Hold on, I'll get to the fun. Like,
Oh no, this is
Back
never
to the
ending with
vanilla.
me.
but really, yeah, okay. But really, like I feel so connected to my partner. I love
So boring.
Ella.
This is
She said the cuddles after. I'm 100% on board with that. Like I just love
Get
feeling
out.
like that's the only person. But if you are like single and like one night standing it, like I love a like built man. Like I'd be like the visual effects, the lighting. Like I love that aspect of it. Like show me something sexy. That's my favorite part. Muscles.
Oh.
No, you
Okay.
go. Yeah.
I think it's like the novelty, like the fact there's endless options, endless positions, endless time, endless exploration, and like every single time is something different.
Yep.
So I'm not like a by the book, same thing over and over and over and over and over again. Like I just love the curiosity, the exploration of the experience. Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to agree with both. I think both are key components to great sex. Mine is that there's
My
beauty.
vibrator.
Well, okay, but how many times until it explodes in Paris, which it did.
What's exploding?
Oh, because I still had the old plug-in version.
Oh, I thought you were talking about your man.
And it was in the oh well, the man hopefully did too.
What happened,
And plugging it in the wrong outlet because I didn't have the right adapter. It sparked.
The
I'm
battery
telling you
sounds
that
dangerous.
it was dangerous. It
Yeah.
was. We could have lit the hotel on fire. But anyways.
Okay.
But again,
Okay.
how exciting would that have been?
Okay.
That would have been a great story. No, the best part of sex that I found is that there is beauty even in the dirtiest acts of sex. I and my husband can attest to this. Again, that
The
yes, no,
conversation
maybe
we had
list.
right before this whole
Yes, no,
conversation.
maybe
I know.
list. So I have had the most exciting planned theme nights, bondage, hot wax candles, you name it. Some of the things that most people were wincing, you know, a little bit of a pinwheel spike action, right?
The sex dust.
Yes, the honey
Yes,
dust,
the feathers.
best. But yes, a lot of other people, again, with the shame and the not knowing and being in conservative backgrounds, right? They'd be like, you did what? And you could talk to me and my partner and be like, that was the most, as you mentioned, the connection was the strongest it's ever been in an act of sex during some of those moments. So
Also, trying new things can be so awkward. I think almost every time we have so many stories that we just laugh over, and it's so fun. I think it should always end in laughter.
Oh.
You
Like,
know what
it's
I'm going to ask?
so
yes,
fun.
what are you next?
Please tell the story of the apple cider vinegar right now.
I know the story.
Yes, you do. You just listen and you'll...
I'll remember.
So I was trying to prepare my house for a date that I was really excited about, and I had a massive living room and kitchen. It was one big giant room, and so you to clean the hardwood floors. My mom taught me you did apple cider vinegar, and so I took a bottle of apple cider vinegar, was going to dilute it with water, and I actually spilled the entire bottle of apple cider vinegar. Then I was freaking out, and this
And
whole
what were you
time,
wearing?
oh yes. I'm in a French maid costume because at the end of the day, when someone comes to meet me, you know, you got to role play. And so I was in a French maid costume, but I didn't mean to literally spill the entire bottle of apple cider vinegar. So then the house smells so bad. I am throwing up all the windows. He is going to be there in 15 minutes.
Oh.
And I am flying through the house trying to figure out how to get rid of this
And
vinegar.
it's not like a guy that's like your boyfriend of 3 years. He's like, oh, babe, whatever.
no.
It was like a new
This
thing.
is like, I think we've been on a second or third date.
Oh.
Again, remember, Jayme will give sex up in 5 minutes. I'm sorry, my husband. Like, yeah, 5 seconds. Or no, I said 5 minutes.
5
Not
minutes.
5 seconds.
Seconds.
At least 5 minutes. Yes, 5 seconds is a little too quick. We were talking about how long before. 5 minutes, not 5 seconds. So I am just frantic at this point. Oh yeah, so I finally opened the door, and you can imagine what my perfume smelled like. Gross. It was gross. Gross. But guess what? Amazing
He
sex
stayed.
afterwards.
Great story. What makes someone desirable beyond looks?
A nice booty.
No.
Isn't that part of looks?
I'm kidding.
I think, just my experience, I love being chased.
Oh my gosh.
And, like, just desired all the time. Like, I want you, I want you, I want you.
The consistency.
Even when I'm in sweats and, like, no makeup, and they're like, I just want you. Like, just you. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Like that, like, surety of someone.
I'm like,
She's
not
hot.
thinking about it.
I was saying that for, like, what a guy likes in a girl. That's all. But, I mean, a guy with a cute butt is always welcome.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, like, number one is humor. I need me a funny man. I need someone that's not going to take life too seriously. And then second, I need someone that's just, like, a good time. Like, has a good mental health, like stable, level-headed type of frame of mind. Like, that's so hot to me. And then last is just, like, the banter, like, the best friend connection that's, like, below it all, where you can be a mess, you could be nuts, you could, like, say something in a weird voice, and then they'll just, like, laugh at you. They're not going to judge you.
Someone that has a lot of drive. Like, I think, like, especially with the gym, I'm like, the looks is a perk of that, but seeing someone who is committed to that and just going consistently shows me how driven you are. If you want something, so that's really attractive to me, just seeing that drive.
What small shift could a woman make to feel more magnetic?
You.
Boring.
Okay. Last one.
Can attraction grow, or does it have to be instant?
Grow.
I don't like that answer.
I'm sorry, but it's true.
Okay.
Would you like me to expand why?
Yeah. I don't like it.
Okay, so this is a little segue for those of that have made it to the end. Do you want to wrap up something else before I take the...
You wrap it all.
I'm gonna wrap
it, girls. Wrap it
First
up.
of all,
Always.
thank you for joining us. This was so great.
So fun.
Thank you for having us on the podcast.
Yes.
The questions from the listeners and from the followers they were amazing. So thank you. This was so fun. Great questions. Yeah. Absolutely great questions. Deep thoughts. Our hearts go out to those that are struggling in relationships. But I think at any point in a relationship, everyone's going to go through things where you struggle. So the way I'm wrapping it up today, I loved when we were talking about attraction. And Ella and Allie, and they're like 6'2", big booty. We were talking about all these things.
I don't need a man with a big booty.
Not that you need it.
It's okay.
Not that you need it. But you talk about the attraction, and those are real. That's real, right? Most people would say that it's confidence, right? It's looks, it's chemistry, it's something you either have or you don't, right?
Yeah.
Right? That's what we're attracted to. What I'm here to tell you today is that's a myth. It's a myth. I know, but let me get you excited. We've been taught that attraction is random, right?
Yeah.
But the desire fades. How many of us have heard that in dating long term, in marriages,
you
in
age.
relationships, right? You age,
You
or
change your
or
mentality,
real life
changes,
settles
vision.
in. All of a sudden, you have children that are going to school,
Midlife crisis.
right? Or midlife crisis, or just everyday things that bring it down, right?
Right.
And if something feels off, the other thing is we go to our partners and say that there's something either wrong with us or something wrong with them, right? Why is our desire not as strong? Why are we not having sex as often, right? There's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
But what I'm going to teach in this workshop, so I'm hoping you can all attend, and for listeners of Ella's podcast, there will be a $5 off. It's Earth Tones 5 off. She'll put it in the comments for you. But on February 26th, I'm doing a workshop on hot signals. And what that is, I know, it's going to be teaching you a completely different way to look at attraction and desire. It's not about a personality trait. It's not about performance. I know we all want to think about that, but it's biological. It's our bodies are constantly sending and receiving signals before our brain is even aware of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's what this is about. I want you to come if you're single or if you're partnered. It helps women understand how attraction works. But what I want you to get out of this workshop is that I want you to learn how to ask for more without killing desire. I want you to feel genuinely desired. Right? Again, and how to make it effortless. Not by adding in more work.
So not by shaving your legs.
Not by shaving your legs. Not by doing the little thing. I mean, dressing sexy
Changing
does
your
help.
hair
Don't get me
color.
wrong. All that does. But I want you to be effortlessly magnetic. And it's just listening to those body signals. What cues are you giving out? And does that match with what you're trying to attract?
Your body, like, ooh.
What is that you're doing, right?
You just said something.
So please, I know. So please come join me.
So it's in where? Where is this? Where is it
So
located?
February 26th. It's going to be at 6 o'clock. It's at BioRestoration in Draper. They have been kind enough to give me use of their venue.
Beautiful.
They're a wellness and aesthetic company, so please check them out. We'll have a goodie bag with lots of good fun coupons and everything from takeaways for people to come.
Okay.
Tickets will be out on Eventbrite on Tuesday, right?
Okay,
The launch of the episode.
Yes, when you're listening to this, it'll already be live. 6 p.m. Is that, what day is that of the week?
So Thursday.
Okay, it's Thursday.
Yep, so hopefully not taking anybody's weekends.
Okay. Will there be drinks?
There will be a happy hour.
So a little drinky drink.
So the workshop will start more likely towards 6:30.
Are we like all interacting with each other?
Absolutely.
Or are we just listening?
This will not be boring. This will not be a come sit down. This will be
Come.
hopefully meet new people, learn something profound, as she said. Hopefully I give you an ooh, ah, or an aha moment. Again, my stress is without more effort.
Okay, great. Thank you,
Yay.
so thank you everybody for listening. Hopefully we do this again. I feel like this needs to be a tradition.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll call out your vibrator, and I'll have a wonderful night.
There you go. That's a wrap.